It's a very pretty, if wet, Sunday morning. We had storms last night into this morning, and the Amazon girl just dropped off a big old bag of made in the USA Army men. But that's not what this video is about. Well, I have done it. I have finally settled on the load-bearing rig for my long-range reconnaissance patrol. And I promise you, this is it. I am stopping here. This is my final configuration. One of the reasons that it's going to be is because I am, as I've said in past videos, trying to whittle down some of my gear. And in doing that, I'm just basically I'm building out kits, and then I'm putting them aside, and then when I'm done, whatever's left over is just going to be what's left over. So this is it. So let's look at it. What I've done here is I've got the Defensor Fortis version 2 H harness, and if you're one of my five faithful, you are very familiar with that because I just go on ad nauseum about how wonderful the Defensor Fortis H harness rig is. And on it I have six, count them, six Tactical Tailor large general purpose utility pouches. These are outstanding pouches. They can hold just about anything, lots of anything. They ride well, and they especially ride well on the Defensor Fortis version 2 because it's the version 2, if you can look here, that has this extra set of MOLLE right up here. Now the version 1 has MOLLE going the other direction, going that way. And the version 2 just is a real improvement over that because it enables me to build my rig so that in the front the pouches are higher and then they get lower as we go back. And the reason you want that is so that in the front I can reach my stuff, but as I go back and I have to reach to my side or even, you know, to my say my 5 o'clock, then that would be here. Then I want to be able to reach that pouch and open it and maybe, you know, get something out of it. But I need to be able to, it needs to be lower than this does. So what you see is not necessarily a gradation, but you see a different level. And that's just really, really important. And I think it's one of the big selling points of the version 2 of the Defensor Fortis. So I have six of the Tactical Tailors, and then in the back I have this British Army. It calls it a field pack, but my reading is it's actually a gas mask carrier, and it's a very, very interesting piece of kit. When I ordered mine, I had to get it from England, and the shipping was more than the pouch. But now there's several online surplus stores. I think Venture Surplus, Coleman Surplus, Army Navy Surplus. Those are websites that you can get this from much, 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 much cheaper than I got mine. And then up top is the real booger in this mess that's been giving me the most trouble. This is a 100-liter Camelback, and the reason it's been giving me so much trouble is there's actually nothing on the back of it. There's nowhere to affix it to anything. I really don't understand. I don't understand it. But it's a great little Camelback. It fits perfectly on the back panel of this H harness, and I've really been wanting to use it. I'm not a huge fan of hydration bladders as far as drinking goes, but I am a huge fan as far as water storage. You know, 100 liters of water, which as you'll see here in a little bit is equals to 6 regular bottles of water, 16.9 ounce bottles of water. That's a great way to store a lot of water, and you really don't notice it back there on your back. You just really don't notice it. So if you're not carrying a pack, that's just a wonderful place to put it on an H harness. Well, anyway, I've been having trouble figuring a way to carry it because the only furniture on it for strapping is up here on the front of it, and it's just this one row of pals. So I finally hit on using these G hooks. And I'm going to pull this off and show you what I finally rigged up to make this work. So if you're not familiar, this is a G hook. And when I got mine, this one's made of aluminum. When I got mine, I had to find them. I found them only in colors, so I've had to spray paint them, and I need to go back and do a better job. Now I have found them. I think Mil-Spec Monkey sells them in earth tones and stuff such as that. So I'll probably upgrade these to a Mil-Spec Monkey version that I don't have to paint. But what I did is I took these pieces, and this is out of a Marine Corps repair kit. I'm not even, it goes to their armor, but I'm not really sure exactly what it does, but I think I've rigged it correctly. And forgive me, this is a strap going down to help support this butt pack. So kind of ignore these two straps. So you thread this through the PALS webbing, and you end up with these little hooks. And I thought that would be a good place to affix the G hooks. So what I've done is I've put a G hook on each side, and I've run 3 straps, and I felt like 3 straps would be enough, and I think they will be. And then I put a G hook on each side, and G hooks come boy and girl. You see there's a little bit of a curve to them. You can get flat ones, but if you get the curved ones, you want to get them in pairs, boy and girl, or left and right, whatever you want to call them. Was that sexist? Anyway, so I'm hooking the G hooks into these pieces right here, and then I run out. So up here, I'm just hooking it straight to the PALS webbing, and I was really hoping that would work. And so what I've done is I didn't want, let me open this thing up. I didn't want to put water in the bladder because this is a brand new, a never used bladder, and I just don't want to go through the hassle of having to dry it. So I came up with something else to test whether the G hooks can hold the water that would go into that hydration bladder, which is a 100-ounce hydration bladder. I've got here 16.9-ounce bottles, 6 of them, which comes out to pretty much 100 ounces. So there's the hydration bladder holder, the Camelback pouch, holding 6 of these 16.9-ounce water bottles, which is pretty much equal to 100 ounces. And the G hooks hold it. I think it would hold it a lot better, you know, in that. But it holds the weight, bulky though it may be. And that answers my question, will this setup work? And yeah, I think it will. And of course I would cinch that down and everything. And there's the backside view. Once again, it's the Defensor Fortis version 2, and just really happy. That's a nice wide belt, nice padding on the H harness part. I just think this is going to be really good. One thing I really like is where the 2 sections or the 3 sections go together, and this is how you lengthen the belt. You adjust it to your size. Where they go together, I've been able to span it with one of the pouches, so that gives it a lot of strength there. I think that's pretty important. And you can see here why I decided to run this strap up. The British Field Pack, or whatever they want to call it, it has these D-rings, and I really think it's important to use them because there's only 2 places to attach this. So I wish I could have attached it, you know, 3 or 4 places, because there's certainly real estate for it, but I couldn't. So I attached these straps that go up to the back panel, and I'm really happy with that. I think it's going to ride really well. So there you go. That's what it looks like on the body. And of course, I just have these packed with filler to give it shape. But you can see how these 2 pouches are higher, and then they descend down. And again, it's so that I can reach these, but then when I go to reach these, they're farther down, and I have a better chance of getting into them and seeing what's in there and getting out what I need. Really happy with it. Uh, and yes, it reminds you a lot of the old British 58 pattern, or I think that's what it was called. If you watch World War II or Korea movies, you see them with these big kidney pouches here. And that, this tactical tailor pouch is kind of a takeoff or a homage to it. But I'm really liking that as a butt pack. That really makes me happy. So I'm pretty happy with this rig. But I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what does this thing weigh? Empty. Well, let's find out. All right, there it is. 6.38, I think that says. Yeah, 6.38 pounds for all of this with nothing in it. Now, that's equal to a pretty good sized pack. Probably a pretty good sized pack that you could get all this gear into. However, a pack doesn't allow you to access all your gear without taking it off. And in a long range reconnaissance patrol type setup, I think that's really important that you be able to access all your gear as you're moving without taking it off. So that's why you want to go with an H harness rather than a backpack, or at least LBE rather than a backpack when you're looking at long range reconnaissance patrol. So there you go. That is my final. I promise I'm not going to bother you again with this. This is my final iteration of the long range reconnaissance patrol loadout. Hey, thanks for watching.